Good morning, Warriors. How are we doing today? This is March 28th, 2022. How are things going? Hope everybody's doing well today. Hope everybody is on their purpose. We had a nice weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. And we're back with another great week of our journey and continue to move forward. And a lot of good ideas and things we're going to share a little bit this week as well. So, once again, shout outs to people, several comments over the weekend. Thank you, Sacred G. I appreciate that. Thank you, Joshua Garcia. Thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. Keep going. I think he says it's 59 days. Keep it going, my friend. Keep it going. Harold, great comment. We're going to talk about Harold's force field. I like that idea as well. And he's always got some good ideas coming out of this analogy we make with our journey. So let's talk about, once again, the idea of saving your energy and using it. I like the bank analogy, probably the best so far. The force field, I think, is a good one, Harold, you make as well. I think certainly you're trying to keep your energy. But the main thing with all of this is the same principle that we've kind of talked about, is that you want to continue getting stronger. And I think Harold mentioned in his email as well, is that, or his text message to me, you end up getting stronger as you do this more. As you do this more, you become stronger. Now, there's not, you're not infallible, of course. Your superpowers are going to not, save you in every situation. Doesn't mean you're not going to get angry at times. I was angry this morning here and doing so many different things, trying to get ready. Doesn't mean you're not going to get frustrated at times. Doesn't mean you're not going to get nervous at times. Those things will still happen, but to a lesser degree. And eventually, as you do this more and more, the longer you get, I believe it's going to become better and better for you as a person with all the benefits that you get. I think certainly, I noticed again over the weekend, a lot of staring, a lot of people looking at me, not always knowing why they're looking at me, but I'm assuming that's the situation and the idea behind it. Also, a lot of benefits when it comes to focusing and a lot of success. And I think Harold did mention that, and I agree with Harold in this one as well, is that as time goes on, you're going to become more successful. You're going to become more prosperous in things you're doing. You're going to have more peace of mind. I think, once again, the idea is that once you start doing this, you're going to see a lot of the benefits that you wanted before. Except now you're in a different position. Let's do some examples here. So, for example, you wanted all kinds of wealth and money and things like that, and you're going to get abundance. But you don't look at it the same way. You don't look at it because you realize what you have inside of you right now is really what you're looking for. The thing I've noticed is that what I'm looking for is that peace and serenity. I'm looking for God to be inside me in the relationship I have with my Lord Jesus Christ. I recognize that inside of me is more important than the other things. And I think this is why the Bible talked about the fact that you should, let everything go and follow Christ or follow your God and be able to do that. Because what ends up happening is that you end up not requiring it as much. So I think another benefit on this whole journey is that your needs go down, your wants go down, and your needs are still there, but your wants go down. And I think it's a big difference. Once your wants go down, you're not at a position that you're really going to focus on all these things you want to get. Now, do you still have hobbies and things? Yes, of course, but you're also looking at this in a long term. Like all my hobbies and things that I do are investments for the future, investments for my wife and my kids and things like that. So I collect things, but I know that the value of those things are going to continue to go up, not down. And so as you do that, you're going to continue getting more value out of it because it's going to increase in value. Sorry guys, I need a little green tea. But all those type of things are important for you to recognize that you've got to have some level of understanding. The same thing when it comes to women. When you talk about this, back when you're, in these stages, a lot of people, and I see this with a lot of teenagers and 20-year-old young men, they want to have all the women love them, all kinds of stuff like that. And, I was through that phase as well. But you don't realize that once you're able to get that, through this retention, because women will be attracted to this, you don't really want that. I mean, obviously, it's kind of a ironic type of thing, right? That at some level, you want to, have women, but the idea is that, you can't get them because you're kind of doing these type of energy releases and all this other kind of stuff. Then when you stop doing the energy releases, well, then the women will come after you because they want you to do this kind of stuff. It's subconsciously, of course, not consciously. And basically, you're not interested. And I think this is a very important type of thing to look at, because as you look at this, you're looking at trying to say, okay, what kind of lifestyle do I want to live? And the lifestyle you want to live really is one of abundance, but that means you're not going to have the amount of needs you need, which gives you a chance to be even more abundant if you really truly be so. But the thing is that you don't really want it. So it's kind of a real interesting kind of oxymoron type of comment that we make here, because the whole key to this is to realize that you don't have the types of, you don't need the kind of wants that you are looking for. The wants do not have to be as much as you think they are. A lot of things that we need in this world, we really don't need. And we come to find those out as time goes on, that it's not that important. All the money in the world is not that important. Now, yes, you may live comfortably and you may think that's really a great thing, but in the long run, if you don't have the Lord and God within you, you're going to struggle with that whole concept, and it's almost going to be more like it's more like a trap than it is a positive. Because now you got to keep making that kind of money to make that kind of lifestyle, and all of a sudden now you're in a situation where now you're stressed out, depressed, and if you don't have something to lean on, it's very easy to kind of fall into that pattern of problems and things like that. So I think that, once again, Harold makes some good comments again, and I will shout out to Harold again. I like the force field idea. I got to think about that one a little bit more, but I think your other comment, of course, is that you will get more prosperous and successful on your journey. And I think you make a very, very good point with that, and I totally agree with that. I think as I've experienced this now at 180 some days with monk mode, and I'm at 660 something like that with NoFap, I think that I've seen tremendous benefits, and I've seen amount of money go up as well, and I've also seen the amount of benefits in focusing, health. All these things are much better than they used to be, and I think that's a very positive type of thing that I'm seeing. Concentration, focus, just overall well-being, I've noticed a lot. And I'm working a lot of hours during the week. I have to take care of family, animals, all kinds of stuff, and I still, except for a Sunday rest, I end up having a lot of hours. I'm going, and I don't seem to really have a problem with that, especially as I do it. Now, once again, I add things like drinking tea and cold showers and things like that. But all those type of things are positive things when it comes down to the idea of trying to better yourself. And I think that's a key type of thing when it comes to what your overall plan and goal is. So, again, I think as we get through this next week, as we're starting to do this week, it's important to keep focusing on what your goals are. The goals are what's important. As I said, I always try to dream about goals that I have, the 3 major area goals that I focus on, and I try to block out other things that come in there. And last night I had some situations where I had to block some stuff out and go back to it. It wasn't always very easy. I think sometimes also some of the foods that you eat, I know I'm just saying that generically, foods that you eat tend to create those type of situations where you have too much sugar in your system or too much carbs or something like that, and you're a little bit heavier than you should be, which is something that I battle with a lot. Then I think you need to go back to kind of trying to watch your thing. So I'm trying to go back to my intermittent diet and my fasting, which again I'm going to go back to. I do it every so often. I'm doing it again for a while. So from 12 to 8, I'll eat during the day, but after 8 at night up until noon again, the next day, I'm going to just try to have tea and water for the most part if I can. And we'll see how that ends up working. But I do know that as you get older, and a lot of you guys don't have to worry about this in your 20s and 30s, but once you get to your 60s, then you have to kind of look more at this. And my system just does not break down the types of foods that I used to eat a lot the same way. So pizzas and hot dogs and some of those over the weekend, and it just takes a longer time for that to break it down. And I'll go back to Kendler's book, which I think a lot of us in the Western world, we don't really look at this philosophy, but he had a great philosophy of he talked about this in the Eastern world, in which when people had meals, they didn't have all these gourmet meals and having all these kind of second and third level types of meals where they had all these things together. And it certainly didn't have things like hot dogs and hamburgers. One of the worst things you can do is mix the breads with meats, is what he was saying. I think he was talking about the proteins and the carbs in there, and I agree with that. I think that ends up killing me, and I'm noticing that more and more, and so I have to really make an effort to avoid that. And I think certainly the other thing that I notice a lot of in his type of thing, in his book, and once again we'll focus on that. I always forget to do this. I know we had a great comment about the Fountain of Youth exercises, so I get a chance this week. I think I have some time this week. One of my schools is on spring vacation, so I'm going to probably go ahead and work on a couple of different things this week. But the Fountain of Youth, they talk about the fact that in the book, they mention the fact that people, when they have meals, they tend to focus on eating one thing at a time. So you would eat meats first, right? And then you would eat breads next, and you would not have everything at one meal, because they're saying that the indigestion and the things you have with both of those end up hurting you a lot more. And I forget that. So that's something I'm not doing too well, and I'm gonna have to go back to that part of it. So as you get older, you see it affects you a lot more. So, all right, my friends, well, I'm gonna let you go. Once again, I'm gonna do one on Fountain of Youth. I'll probably try to do it tonight if I can. Now I'm thinking about it. You guys have a great day, and God bless you all. Warriors, keep moving forward. And thanks again. Shout out to Harold again. Thank you for another great comment. And thanks again. I'm going to look at that force field thing and think about that one more. I always liked the Fantastic Four, was my favorite people. So Sue Richards always had that force field. So I got to go back and look at that. I think it's a good idea, Harold. I just have to kind of give more thought to it so I can kind of talk more intelligently about it. So very good. But anyway, great job, Harold. Great job. Thank you for Joshua Garcia. And thanks for all you guys commenting. I really appreciate it. Sacred G, keep going as well, my friend. And you guys are doing a great job. So God bless you guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk very soon. Battle on!